SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Stage Fright. Chapter 5. So that was that. Both of my old partners were too busy to team up with me again. I thought about taking on the case solo, but quickly nixed that notion. I needed someone to bounce ideas off of, to discuss the clues with, to watch my back when the going got rough, to split the cost of the lunch. When it came down to it, a privatized partner was as important as an oyster shell. Without one, a detective was just a vulnerable little blob alone in the ocean unprotected. I didn't want to be that blob. Instead of heading back to his pineapple, SpongeBob decided to take a walk around Bikini Bottom to clear his head and figure out his next move. He strolled past the Fright Museum, where he'd practically memorized every exhibit, just as a pair of teenage friends excitedly rushed inside. Next, he passed the Shady Shoals rest home, where his heroes, Merman Man and Barnacle Boy, were sitting outside on some rocking chairs, reading the newspaper. SpongeBob excitedly waved to the duo, and Merman Man waved back as SpongeBob walked away. Merman Man then leaned over to his partner and asked, "Who is that young whippersnapper again?" SpongeBob wandered to Goo Lagoon and charged past one couple lying on towels. "Did you hear about the new show they're putting on at the old Drippy Lane Theater downtown?" the fish lady asked. "Sure I did," the fishman replied. "I think we should see the show once it opens. I'll stop by the box office and get us tickets first thing tomorrow." "Thanks, honey," she said, hugging him. "I love you." "I love you too," he said, "almost as much as I love live theater." They laughed and kissed. Mwah. SpongeBob walked on, reaching the part of the shoreline known as Muscle Beach, where all the buff bodybuilders enjoyed lifting weights. A rack held barbells of all sizes for them to choose from. Metal bars at various heights provided opportunities for short, average, and tall weightlifters to do pull-ups between sets of pumping iron. 2 sets of risers provided seating for beachgoers who preferred watching other heave heavy objects over their heads to actually doing it themselves. Muscle Beach had an easygoing, friendly, and slightly sweaty vibe. Larry the Lobster could often be found there when he wasn't on duty as Goo Lagoon's favorite lifeguard. Sure enough, SpongeBob spotted him curling a massive set of weights, working his bulging arm muscles. He was in such great shape that he could easily exercise and talk at the same time, chatting with the bodybuilder next to him. "You excited about the new show downtown?" Larry asked, doing his 89th curl with perfect form. "You know it," the ripped fish lying on the bench said as he pressed a gigantic barbell over his shredded chest. His name was Tibber. "I'm especially thrilled that it's going to be a musical." "Oh, me too," Larry agreed. "Songs can carry emotion in a way that plain dialogue never can. 90, 91, 92. "Well, you know what they say," Tibber grunted as he pushed the weights into the air. "When the emotion's too much for speaking, sing. And when the emotion's too much for singing, dance." Larry nodded. "Wow, I never heard that, but it's so apt." "You know me," Tibber replied. "Apt." Chuckling together, they finished their punishing routine, straining their muscles to the max. SpongeBob decided to head home. Seeing the various pairs of partners and couples made him feel disappointed that he couldn't have his own that could help him work this case. As he turned to go, he noticed someone lifting the biggest set of barbells Muscle Beach had to offer. Sandy! Sandy Cheeks, Bikini Bottom's only resident squirrel and only land creature for that matter, easily hoisted the heavy weights over her head, lowering and lifting them 12 times in rapid succession. When she dropped the weights on the sand, the impact bounced everyone sitting in the risers. She said, grinning. "That set was a little too easy. Guess maybe it's time to add more weights." "Of course!" SpongeBob thought excitedly. "Sandy Sandy! She made the perfect crime investigating partner! She obviously was strong. Her karate skills were unmatched, and she was smart too. A scientist who was always coming up with clever new inventions. A couple of her creations have been crucial to solving the Green News mystery. She was certainly qualified to be a private eye. Overqualified even. But would she do it? Bursting with enthusiasm, SpongeBob started to run over to Sandy. Then he remembered that he was a cool detective, so he slowed his pace, tipped his fedora hat forward a little, and stuck his hands in his pockets. "Hey, Cheeks," he said, forcing himself to keep his voice smooth and unemotional. "How's tricks?" "Why, howdy, SpongeBob," Sandy said, smiling a wide, happy smile. She grabbed him and gave him a big hug, squeezing him tight. "Oof," he said. "That hug's a little too tight, Sandy. Oh." She let him go. "Oops, sorry about that," she apologized. "Guess I don't know my own strength when I'm all pumped up." She flexed her arm and her muscles grew to the size of sea cantaloupes. Noticing the outfit SpongeBob had on, she said, "Hey, I recognize those fancy duds. You're wearing your detective costume. What's up? Got a new mystery case to solve?" SpongeBob nodded seriously. "Sure do, and that's where you come in." "I do?" "Yup," a thought occurred to SpongeBob. Wait, you're not in the new show down at the Jubilee Theater, are you?" "Me? In a show?" She laughed. "That'd be a hoot and a half." "No, SpongeBob, I'm not in any show. Going on stage ain't exactly my style. I like doing science, karate, high-risk activities, stripping in danger, that kind of thing." She lifted an even bigger set of weights. A crowd in the bleachers cheered, and Sandy waved, holding the barbell over her head with just one hand. Then she twirled the barbell like a baton, tossed it in the air, and caught it behind her back. Wow! The onlookers went nuts. Whoa! SpongeBob was relieved that Sandy wasn't involved in the show downtown. He was starting to think maybe the cast included just about everyone in Bikini Bottom. "That's swell," he told her, "because I'm looking for a partner, see?" Sandy looked puzzled. "What kind of partner? Square dance? Tennis? Kettle roundup?" "Investigative," SpongeBob clarified. She took a colossal barbell in each hand and started lifting them in alternation. Right, left, right, left. "What are you investigating? That glowing green news didn't come back, did it?" "Nope," SpongeBob said. He described the troubles at the Jubilee Theater and the importance of the show's success. He even told her his days as a little drip and the joy the old theater had brought the citizens of Bikini Bottom over the years. Sandy sat down on the barbell, stood back up, and put her fists on her hips. "Well, it sounds like that theater's got more problems than a cow caught in a twister." Let me check my calendar. After I finished lifting weights, I was going to do my karate training and run back to my lab to work on my cure for shellfish fever. But I can always make the time to help out a pal. Count me in. You and I'll round up them show-busting desperados lickety-split. Yee-haw! SpongeBob grinned. "Thanks, Sandy. I know you're going to be the best partner a detective could ever hope for." "So," Sandy said as they walked away from Muscle Beach together, "what's our first move?" "I've been thinking about that," SpongeBob said. Stay tuned for Chapter 6, coming up soon.